Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan, and I've been a fan of Barcelona for 15 years now. And the reason why I support Barcelona, I explained that actually in another video that I released recently, how to pick your favorite team. So if you don't have a favorite team yet, or you're just curious how I started to follow Barcelona and root for them, check this video out. But for now, let's focus on the game. This is the main event of this video, Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona. This is the closest topic to me because I watched the game from beginning to an end, and others I couldn't watch it from the beginning to an end because usually I'm at work at 12 p.m. When the Champions League games starts. California time. I live in California. 12 p.m. starts for me. I tend to watch only the second halves of the matches. That's when my lunch is. The cool thing about my work is that I have 3-4 colleagues as well that watch soccer with me, and we just sit next to the TV and we eat and we watch the games. But enough for my work, let's talk about Barcelona. The lead up was intense because Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona have huge history against each other. Their rivalry is strong. It's almost like Barcelona versus Real Madrid, to be honest, because man, especially this last decade, crazy things happened. Even starting from Ronaldinho era, where Ronaldinho was playing for PSG and then he transferred to Barcelona. It's not really in the conversation anymore, but it's still something to remember. But then last decade, man, Barcelona was usually the favorites versus Paris when they were playing against each other, and they were able to win Paris Saint-Germain. In my time when I'm a fan of Barcelona, I think they met each other 4 times. 3 of those ties I saw Barcelona going through, and then 1 time Paris Saint-Germain went through. It was actually last season of Lionel Messi being in Barcelona, and he was in Champions League and they lost at that time to Kylian Mbappe and co. Paris Saint-Germain was just better because Barcelona was not in a good place at that time, and PSG at that time got their revenge for infamous glorious match of season 2016-2017 when in round of 16 Paris Saint-Germain won Barcelona in their home 4-0. Paris Saint-Germain won Barcelona 4-0. The difference was 4 goals, and it's difficult to score 4 goals in 90 minutes when your opponent is tough. And nobody ever saw that kind of a comeback in Champions League before, not with 4 goals. If you conceded 4 goals and it's 4-0, nobody ever managed to come back from that, like make 5-0 or 6-1, for example, right, to go through. But Barcelona somehow did it back in 2017, and to this day, that comeback haunts PSG. They think about that. They actually think about that, even despite of the revenge they got in 2021. I still believe that it's somehow not enough because and Paris Saint-Germain, you know, after they lost to Barcelona in 2017 and prior to that they lost in 2015 already, and they couldn't get through us in quarterfinals of 2013. And so at that time PSG was like, oh my god, we were so close to beating them, but first time in history somebody was able to come back, and it was Barcelona against us, and they were close to victory. And because it slipped away like that so dramatically, and it became one of the best matches of Champions League history, definitely in top 10 collection, man, I mean, PSG started to act on getting revenge somehow. At the time they were not tied together, so they had to try to affect us in different ways. So they affected us by purchasing Neymar. They took Neymar from us, from Barcelona, for the record-breaking 222 million euros at the time, and that hurted us. we didn't know what to do. Our management was not mature enough at the time. Gladly now we have a different president, but at the time we didn't know what to do. And so, yeah, that hurted us. Indeed. What happened was they even bought Messi from us. You know, Messi, the most famous player in the world, right? So they bought him from Barcelona, not because Messi wanted to leave, but he had to leave because of contract expiration, and somehow Barcelona couldn't prolong that contract. You know, it was a whole thing. And then Paris Saint-Germain, who had the money, they gladly took him for free, which was insane. So bad blood there. And then they won us in 2021. You know, it was their time, I guess, to win us too. And the last recent event happened where Ousmane Dembele, a player that we cared for, we treated him right, we gave him everything. He was mostly injured during his 5 years in Barcelona, and yet we were still believing in the guy. We were still supporting him and paying all the medical bills and all that kind of stuff. And then in the end, we got a heinous action from Dembele. It was a betrayal. It was a betrayal. Leaving, not being transparent with, it's a whole story, I'm not gonna get into it, but he was not being transparent with us, and then angry at us, and then just leaving the club where we were like, till the end we were hoping that he would stay, left the club, now angry at us, now like in the game of PSG in Barcelona that happened this week, he was all fired up to prove us wrong. Oh my god, like it was insane. And when he scored a goal, which we'll get to it very soon, but when he scored a goal, he was so excited, he was screaming and celebrating like a maniac, like he like as if he won Champions League, when in reality we were not bad guys here at all. We were supporting him, and the fact that he was doing all that, he was not even that emotional when he was playing for our club. He did not really care for the badge, even if he lied to us for years that he did. And it's just upsetting, you know, this whole drama. Even with Dembele, that's the latest case between the Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona feud, personalities that add up to the drama. It's about like, screw them PSG, we gotta prove them wrong, we need to shut Dembele so that he realizes that he's inferior to us. We need to win Paris Saint-Germain as well, so that they realize that they're inferior club against us. You know, and Barcelona is still historically at the top comparing to PSG, and Paris Saint-Germain never won Champions League, despite the fact that they spent 2 billion euros on purchasing players, on making things happen to move somewhere so that we finally win Champions League. Only one time they were able to get to the final, and then they lost that final, unfortunately for them, in 2020. And it's not like I don't like PSG, to be honest. There were plenty of times in my life where I actually really liked PSG. I liked their players. Not this squad season. This squad is just not that appealing, but there were eras where squad was amazing. Even coming back to 2021, I was like, holy smokes. There was a transfer window, and that happened recently in 2021. The transfer window that they had, it was the most epic transfer window I've ever witnessed, but they could not capitalize on that. But to put things in perspective, they got, in summer of 2021, Lionel Messi, Sergio Ramos, legend of Real Madrid. We had Donnarumma, which is a great goalkeeper. He was great in the Italian squad. And then we got, I was trying to remember other players. There were so many good players. I think it was Ashraf Hakimi, who also transferred that summer. And the guys, there was more. Like the squad, it was insane. It was like Avengers got together. It was a big deal. It was full of stars team. They already had Neymar and Mbappe. Now suddenly they have Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Di Maria, which is I adore Di Maria. I love him as a player. And there were so many great personalities in that team, and yet they couldn't mesh as a team. Nevertheless, coming back to the real time, what happened in the game actually? So Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain met. Right before the game, Paris Saint-Germain supporters were saying, hey, let's show Barca who we are. Let's turn up in our own stadium in Paris, France, and make them feel afraid, make them feel scared. Let's show them our power. Let's be as loud as we can. And let PSG also be at the top of their game so that we completely wreck Barcelona. Like, that was literal words of Paris Saint-Germain ultras, the crazy fans, super fans. Mbappe also, he was like saying, oh, this is the time for big players to turn up, to step up. This is time for big players to coming in. This is the Champions League, the round of 16, not the round of 16, sorry, the quarterfinals, semifinals. Like, this is the time of the season when big players wake up. Yeah, okay, we'll get to that. So he said that, and then in the meantime, we kind of accepted that we are underdogs. I mean, we truly were underdogs still, and we kind of played along with it though. Even in the media, we were talking about how the players and the coaches, how, PSG are the favorites. I mean, we'll try our best, but PSG are our favorites. Playing along to it, but we'll try our best. And so, putting pressure on PSG, now PSG in position like, oh, if they're not gonna win, suddenly it's big talk and no delivery. Suddenly it's, again, not keeping up on promises that they always talk about. Oh, we're gonna win PSG Champions League, and then they don't do that. And so we're putting the pressure on them, but silently cooking here some great football. Because what happened was this season was not pleasant for us at all. Last season was better because at least we won Spanish league, La Liga. We were champions in Spain. Yes, the Champions League though, unfortunately, we came up short. We got eliminated quickly, unfortunately, but at least we became champions of Spain, and our game was decent. This season, coming in the first half of the season, which is from August till January, man, it was a train wreck. Oh man, those sleepless nights and those worries for the team. You were sure that this team not gonna accomplish anything this season at the time when they were playing that, and the distance comparing to the first place Real Madrid in the Spanish league, it was pretty big, and I still believe that Real Madrid is gonna win the Spanish league, but at this point, who cares right now? Like, the fact that we are in Champions League at this stage is a miracle, and God bless those ties, the draws that we had with the group stage and round of 16, because we got some easier opponents to manage to handle, and we were able to do that gladly. And now this is the first big opponent, PSG. But by this time, we are ready to fight. We are ready to fight back, and we are mentally ready. We are physically ready, and we're tactically ready to actually do some big things. Because suddenly, when the season was not going well, Xavi, who is one of the biggest supporters of FC Barcelona because he was playing for the club for many years, then he became a coach. Like, he understands the pain of being a Barcelona fan. He wants the best for the club too, and he said like, oh well, these results are not making me happy, and maybe I should step away. New manager will come in and do a better job than me. I want to see Barcelona always win and all that. But actually, under Xavi, we've been performing better comparing to last 4 or 5 years. Yes, there are up and downs, of course, and we also had times, when I was critical of Xavi, and I was, wow, thinking maybe it is the right decision to switch coach. But suddenly, once he said that, you know what, yes, I for the better of the team, I'm gonna leave this club. He said it back in the beginning of February. Suddenly, Barcelona started to flourish. It's like the pressure, some type of pressure that were on them, caused by fans, because we can be ruthless to them. We always expect the biggest results. But man, the way now they're handling games is crazy. I think the pressure, whatever stuff that was on their shoulders that was holding them to perform like that, they removed that and they just got lighter and they calmed down. Suddenly this experienced feel came into them, that they're a very experienced team and that they're very cool and collected, and that they showed it against PSG as well. And suddenly, starting from February, they're not losing at all, and they're playing better and better, and they're playing impressive football. Suddenly, we are in the conversation of being one of the better teams in the Champions League, who maybe, just maybe, okay, well, if not maybe win the Champions League, at least gonna be in the final. It's been an up and down season, but it's crazy emotions because I'm so proud of the team, especially how they performed yesterday. It was already no surprise for us that Barca would perform well, just because of the last games. They've been performing really well for the last 2 months, and we were just thinking if they will perform well like they were performing this last 2 months, then they actually have a chance against this PSG, who looked powerful because they have not been losing since November of 2023. It's been a while since they lost, but the only difference is that Barcelona play usually against more difficult teams because Spanish league is more difficult than playing in French league. And I'm just happy to see their faces when they realized Paris Saint-Germain, when they were facing Barcelona, it's not as easy as it is in Farmers League. You have to try hard here. The way 17-year-old Kubarsi, the revelation of the season, let me talk to you about Pau Kubarsi. This man is a 17-year-old defender, and usually players start playing at 16, at 17, or even later they start their careers. But so he's very young, he's just entering his career, and he started to play for Barcelona this January, out of the fact that there were injuries in the squad and somebody had to replace injured defenders. And so Kubarsi, Xavi, our main coach, put Kubarsi in the center of defense. And then what happened? Oh my god, he already played 15 games for Barcelona, Spanish league included, and Champions League counting, right? He played, and we just keep being more excited and appreciative that we have this type of player. This is incredible talent, and he plays like he played yesterday like he'd been playing in Champions League for 10 years. It's like he is that experienced, very cool, collected, calm, just knows what he has to do, successfully tackles without fouls, successfully tackles, gets the ball, pass it to the attack. That's it. The positioning in defense is incredible for Pau Kubarsi, and the defense, it was struggling the first season, this first half of the season. Last season we won, we became champions of Spanish league because we had a good defense, and then suddenly we lost it, and now we just gained it back we gained it so hard because we have 4 great defenders now. I mean, they were all there besides Kubarsi, but with the addition of Kubarsi, with the addition of this great form, suddenly all 4 became superstars. We're talking about Kubarsi, who is only 17 years old, second match ever in Champions League, playing against Kylian Mbappe. And even if you're not interested that much in soccer, you've heard of the name of Mbappe. And Mbappe is an incredible striker. And the fact that Barcelona was able to pocket him entire match, Kylian Mbappe didn't shoot once. He didn't shoot once, guys. He was nullified. He was nothing. He was the least threat to Barcelona in this whole match. There were players that were much more threatening to us, and even them were kept silenced. Kept, for the most part, we kept them in check. Yes, there was a period of 10 minutes after the break when the second half started. PSG changed their tactics. Barcelona stepped away from their tactics a little bit, started to do something different for some reason, and then it resulted in, oh damn, the match flipped. It was 1-0 first. Barcelona was winning 1-0 after the first half and was controlling the game, and then suddenly the second half, Pau Kubarsi, Pau Kubarsi, I just love that man. But PSG came into the game, bam, bam, 2 goals in the 48th minute, in 51st minute. So within 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the game, they scored twice. We were like shell shocked. And then usually before, Barcelona was like, they would kept being shell shocked and didn't know what to do for the rest of the match, and like shaking and nervous and pathetic, pretty much like last 4 or 5 seasons. Yes, we had some comeback matches, yes, but usually the tendency in Champions League matches lately, it was where if someone is starting to take over, team like PSG, for example, starting to take over, that happened against Liverpool, against Roma. If team starts to show momentum, we start to, oh my god, what's going on, and then we just we just lose our momentum and we cannot fight back. Here though, Barcelona was cool and collected, and then suddenly Xavi also helped his team by reacting to the 2-1 loss at that time, and he substituted Pedri. Pedri came in after injury. He was not playing for a couple of months, I believe, and the way, just like after 1 minute, the fact that Pedri assisted to a goal, he assisted to Rafinha, and Rafinha scored and became 2-2. That was crazy. It was really awesome to see, and that this team came to get some result, and they are fighting hard for that. So that was impressive. That was impressive from Barcelona. Yeah, I just was really pleased to see that Barcelona is scoring in Parc des Princes. Barcelona is playing good football against Paris, and whoever doubted Barcelona, and rightfully so, to be honest, and rightfully so, because the whole season Barcelona was not that good. PSG on paper should have won this match, and but that's kind of old news now, because again, last 2 months Barcelona is building and getting better and better. Suddenly they have this amazing aura, amazing form, and I just really love that about them. And this is a new wave of revival of Barcelona, of great Barcelona we enjoy. I enjoy, at least we as Barcelona fans enjoy, and even neutrals, they like to see more great teams. The more there are great teams out there in the world, the better for a neutral fan to see amazing football. So yeah, in defense it was Pau Kubarsi, Ronald Araujo, amazing match as well. Ronald Araujo, one of the best defenders in the world. He already proven that before this season even. But even this season, he's playing really well, and I just love the fact he also stepped up, which is awesome to see. And then also we have João Cancelo, who has experience with Manchester City. Manchester City won Champions League last season. He was with them. So that experience definitely helps for Barcelona. And then Jose Kunde, which is also good. So 4 great, amazing defenders, which I really adore. Ter Stegen, of course, great goalkeeper. And then we have 3 players where we have well, right now it's a bit different because of the injuries. Usually Gavi would have played, Frankie de Jong, Pedri would have played, probably, right? Gundogan. I mean, Gundogan still played, yes. So Gundogan, gladly, he's not injured. Also another Manchester City player who has the experience of winning Champions League. And then he is in control of midfielder. If midfield, he adds to the game so much. And then we have, in this game at least, we had Sergio Roberto, who is the captain of Barcelona, and that was laughable right before the beginning of the season. But Roberto stepped up. And I'm pleased to announce to the whole world that I was wrong about Sergio Roberto. The better he plays, the better for us, of course. So right before it was like, oh my god, Roberto, when we're gonna sell him already? But now, man, I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that he's here, and he plays really nice football. And we have Sergio Roberto, we have Ilkay Gundogan, we also have Anders Christensen, who is technically central back player, but now he's playing in a central midfield role, which is crazy. But yeah, so there are players like that. Fermin Lopez I really like in midfield, and I was hoping for Fermin Lopez to be in this game for more time, but we got Frankie de Jong, who got just recovered, and he returned to the game. It was unusual to see that Frankie de Jong was right there from the beginning, because he just healed. I was hoping for Fermin to start, but that was the only one nitpick, and I was like, and still, I mean, Frankie de Jong is a great player, so that was only one nitpick for me. But when Xavi showed the squad, I was really happy that he made the selection, because also in attack we have Robert Lewandowski, we have Rafinha, which is a good option, and Yamin Lamah is also a good option, another 16-year-old person who is coming from the best Spanish soccer school, La Masia, probably best youngsters school in the whole world. We always grow some nice talents. So we have that squad, and then everybody stepped up. Lamine Yamal is a young player at 16, doing good. Kubarsi at 17, doing great. Fermin Lopez coming in, also doing great. And we have some other youngsters as well, but also we have some mix of experienced players like Lewandowski, Gundogan, Cancelo, etc., Ter Stegen. So it's really cool. It's a really cool team. I really like this team, and I couldn't really say that just 4 months ago, but now I'm proud to say I really am enjoying the ride, and I am enjoying FC Barcelona, and I hope that will continue. And that's why I said the hope that we start to get is magical and unreal, and I want to continue feel that. And if Barcelona, who won 3-2, by the way, I never announced the actual final result of this match, but it's 3-2 because Barcelona scored one more time after that Pedri pass. Christensen got subbed into the game, and it was his birthday actually, and then Andres Christensen just scored a goal right after he came in as well, after 1 minute, right after he came in, 78th minute, 3-2, and PSG was like, oh my god. And then PSG was even, if we had more balls, or not balls, we were trying to just keep the good result already in our favor, but if we wanted, instead of being hey, okay, slow down, it's okay, the 3-2 is already good. If Barcelona pushed even more, we could have even got more out of that. Like in the last few minutes, we were attacking, not PSG, at their home. And so yeah, I mean, I'm super happy. If things will go like this second match, Barcelona will be in semi-final of Champions League, bro. Like, this is hard to imagine. Last time we were in semi-finals in 2019, 5 years ago, guys. And so that did not end well that time against Liverpool, but the times have changed, and the ghosts of the past, we said them bye on Wednesday against PSG. I hope so, at least. I hope. I don't want to jinx it, but I hope they're not gonna bottle it. Second match, it's gonna be great because now Dembele, who scored, and then he also scored the second goal in PSG Barcelona 2-3 match. So he's gonna come back his previous home to Barcelona, and good thing he's not in Camp Nou. Yes, good thing that we're playing right now in a substitute stadium because our main stadium is being under reconstruction. But he's gonna come in, Dembele, and he's gonna get booed out of the stadium. That's for sure. Like, he's gonna get booed, and rightfully so for his behavior. We hate the guy now, and it's gonna be intense. And the match itself is gonna be fire. And the ex-manager of FC Barcelona, Luis Enrique, who manages PSG at the moment, there is some tension there. He's coming back home as well, but we love him. We love Luis Enrique. Lucho is really great guy. No bad blood against him at all. I love Lucho, Luis Enrique, but yeah, man, like, he's gonna come back home and gonna play against his former teammate and former, I would say, student, because Xavi was a player under Luis Enrique when Luis Enrique was a coach. So there's a whole intertwining stories happening between PSG and Barcelona. So it's really interesting to see that, and it's really interesting to see how it's going to turn out. That's why definitely tune in to Paris Saint-Germain FC Barcelona next Wednesday. And Paramount Plus in the United States, Paramount Plus, the streaming platform, so they cover UEFA Champions League. So definitely, not next Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday's gonna happen Tuesday, 12 p.m. So Tuesdays and Wednesday are Champions League nights. So definitely do not miss out on that. Next week, I'm saying it means. Let me give you exact days. It is June 16 and June 17. So these are the Champions League days. Please write them down at 12 p.m. Please turn on Paramount Plus and please watch these games because they're gonna be phenomenal. And I just talked about only one game, guys. I'm not gonna talk about 4 of them because this video will be hella long, because it's already hella long. But yeah, guys, I mean, I had blast, and this match, yes, for me is the main event, but actually Real Madrid versus Man City and Bayern versus Arsenal are supposed to be even bigger matches, and Real Madrid versus Manchester City, the biggest draw out of these 4. Oh my god, the goals are delicious. The goals are so fine. So I definitely recommend to watch recaps on YouTube of this first games